right, Allison, what's next? Allison Crable in this situation.
Well, Jack is a co-founder of this organization, the Summer Camp Society. So who better to tell us what the Summer Camp Society really is? Because I know it's one of those kind of like mythic things, right? Like if you're in this, you've probably seen our social media and you've seen our posts and you've seen our free resources and whatever else. But what is this Summer Camp Society, Jack? How did y'all start it?
That's a great question, and I'm going to answer it. And first, I'm going to be selfish because I want to hear from y'all for just one more thing. In the chat, don't do it yet. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. Will you put into the chat on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most stressful summer that you've ever experienced ever at camp in the history of the world, and 1 being the easiest summer ever? Will you put how you felt like this summer went? 1 is easy, 5 is really hard. Ready, set, go. Okay. I got some 2.5s. I got some 3s, some 4s, no 5s so far. That's huge. Okay, same question, but last summer. So 2020, what summer? 2021, 1 to 5. Okay. Similar, higher. Okay. Yeah, Michael's like, nah, dude, I wasn't there. So in general, what I'm seeing is this summer was a little bit less stressful than last summer, but still like pretty stressful in many ways. I didn't see any ones. Emily, I'm glad that yours was less stressful this summer, mostly because that you got to hang out with our friend Nelson. I love Nelson. So that's great. And can you in the chat in 4 words or less, why are you like in this meeting? 4 words or less in the chat. Why bother coming to this meeting? Why bother be kind of interested in the Summer Camp Society at all? And there's no wrong answers. Drew, you can write because you wanted to be able to pick on me later. That's fine. I get it. And Sam, thank you for exactly following the rules of the Summer Camp Society, which is that you can always just break them a little bit as long as you kind of feel like you're moving in the same direction. How to convince boss, seasonal staff development tools. Awesome. Thank you. Cool. Okay. We'll do more questions and stuff at the end, but that really helps me understand kind of what to say next. And so the way the Summer Camp Society started is that Sarah Kurtz McKinnon and I, yes, amazing Facebook post. Yes, Allison, crushing the social media game. Thank you so much for doing that. Anyway, so in 2017, Kurtz and I were at the Nacho conference together, which is it's a national conference for camps for kids with hemophilia and other blood disorders. And we were in Arizona, and we were noticing that a lot of people that had been around camp for a long time had a lot of friends at conferences. They could talk to each other. They knew they could go up to each other. They could be like, yeah, and so whatever happened. And we were spoiled because we knew each other. But we noticed that most of the people who were just getting started at camp didn't have connections, right? And so we were starting to see that. And that's where it started. We were like, how can we make it so that actually what I said was it would be cool if ACA brought young people together better. And then we started talking about Epic a little bit. And then Kurtz was like, yeah, we should just do it. And then that started a beautiful relationship where mostly I do what Kurtz tells me to do, and she rolls her eyes at me when I get too off topic, and it works out great. And so that's where it started, and it kind of from there where what we try and do really is help folks that are off running our own camps in a million different places, working on a million different projects, have a chance to come together and share ideas, share kind of not just professional ideas, but also just what's up in your life, how are your kids, what's stressful, what's hard, what matters to you. Because the thing about working at camp is it's a job, and it takes our whole human. It's so much more than just showing up every day, punching the clock, and walking out. And Emily, that's a great question. And so no, you're not at all. What we noticed was because we're self-centered, we were young when we were getting started in it. And what we notice is it's not just young people that need this, it's all of us, right? And it's all of us that need a chance to find connection, to build relationships across different camps. And we have members that are all kind of different ages. I have no idea what the breakdown is. So Allison might be able to tell you, Drew, I don't know. It's like people are whatever age they are. And as long as you're willing to laugh and smile and care about each other, then you're welcome here. And so the other thing I think that makes the Summer Camp Society a little different than other groups is that it's not we're not like a Jedi organization. Like we're not like purely focused on kind of diversity, inclusion, equity, those kind of things. However, because of the work that we do at camps and with people, all kinds of different folks, it's a part of what we do. Because it's a part of what we do. It matters in every single conversation that we have, that we're also talking about how to be more inclusive, how to bring more folks to camp that normally wouldn't be able to come. And so, I think that's not the cornerstone of what we do. It's a piece of the many, many, many things that are a part of it, but it's a huge piece of it. And it's something that I think sometimes gets lost in other settings. And so anyway, what we try and do is always put the human at the center of what we're doing, and that human is each of us. It's the kids, it's those kind of things. And so we get together, and Allison will tell you about exactly kind of what's happening in terms of logistics. But at the end of the day, what it's about is human beings talking to each other, making jokes, laughing, and hearing ideas. Because there's no there's plenty of information on the internet about most of the stuff about how to run camp. You can read business books, you can read youth development books, you can do whatever. But what I usually need is the fact that my waterfront needs to be redone. And I want to be able to call Allison because she was a waterfront director and she's run waterfronts at 3 or 4 different camps. And she can talk me through the questions that I don't even know that I haven't thought about yet. Or I'm thinking about, switching insurance agencies. And so I want to be able to call Drew because of whatever, or, I think that is what makes the kind of ROI, the return on investment, valuable for the Summer Camp Society, is like individuals you can call. But the ethos of it is that only happens because of relationships, because of fun. Just like at camp, like kids, sure, they maybe start to fall in love with the outdoors, or they develop some more empathy or grit or whatever kind of your camp is focused on. But it only happens because they're around people that they care about in an environment of people supporting them. And if that's true for kids, why wouldn't that be true for us? So yeah. Allison, what did I miss?
I don't think you really missed anything. So like Jack said, the Summer Camp Society just exists really to make camps better, to make everything better for camp people. So that's camp directors, seasonal staff, campers, anyone who interacts with camps. We're trying to make camps better for that. And like Jack said, we have membership, which is what we're really focusing on today. We also have training components, consulting, coaching, free resources. So all that's part of the Summer Camp Society as well. But you're here for membership, so we'll talk about membership. That's Jack's perspective of membership. Again, I was a member and just absolutely loved it. Jessica just popped on, and Jessica is a current member as well. Drew, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience as a member? Like why do you do it? Why are you a member of the Summer Camp Society?
Yeah, sure. I've been a member probably since like 2019. That was when we were at Howell for the retreat. I think I went to my first retreat was Howell Nature Center, which was really great. I think one of the biggest things for me, my background is typically like right now I work at the Science Museum of Virginia, which is not a camp organization, but camp is one of the programs that we offer. And so historically, my background has been running camps at organizations that aren't necessarily just camp focused. They either do events or other recreation programs and things like that. So one of the biggest things that I've found is like the validation of the group is that it kind of brings me back to that camp world and reminds me of the importance in it when I spend a lot of my day around people who either don't necessarily recognize it or don't have as deep of a connection with camp specifically, even though they are doing like all these other great things with their great programs. So that's really fun. And I also like kind of how easy and pressure free it is. Summer Camp Society doesn't really ask a whole lot. It's mostly just like, this is what we're doing. If you want to come, come. If not, don't. And then it's just like kind of what Jack was pointing to was, we throw things up in the into the chat or up on Slack, and it's like, hey, does anybody have like a really great midsummer camp staff eval that they like to use? And then like by tomorrow, I'll have like 4 PDFs in my inbox, and I'll just be kind of like editing and pulling these things together. So it just makes it really easy. But then, like you never really feel like anybody's asking you for things. And then if somebody throws something in the chat and you can help them, then you just do it, but you don't ever feel pressured to do so. You want to help and you feel part of this community, like Jack said, supporting other people, and you want to be able to support them. But it's not in a way that's like pressured. You would feel guilty for not doing so. And that's the kind of ease and flow of information and just kind of the ease at which people make those relationships and just connect really quickly is kind of what attracted me to it. Like being a member of ACA has a lot of great things, but it's like, I feel like it's very difficult to kind of pull information from people or like to go and find and like those connections. And a lot of that just happens really organically with the Summer Camp Society, which is something that I've kind of really, really gotten out of it. And, attending the retreats or through the weekly meetings or through, we've done like the anti-racism and accountability book talks and all these other different groups and things like that. So there's a lot of opportunities to kind of pick and choose what you want to do, what you want to be a part of, in little subsets of the Summer Camp Society too. So it's just been really great to have kind of that validation, the resources, and just the openness and ease of the whole process has been just really great.
Awesome. Thank you, Drew. All right. So we have, in awareness of time, I'm going to speed through this and really quickly so that people can pop off if they need to. You heard it from Drew. You heard it from Jack. What is the Summer Camp Society membership? And it is community. It is those weekly meetings that we've mentioned. We do meet Tuesdays at noon Eastern time. That's our general meeting time. And it varies. Sometimes it's somebody something, which is just somebody's bring some things to the table. So people who have problems, they bring it to the table, which is great. We had one of those just yesterday. We touched on everything from alums sending terrible letters to planning a canoe trip states away to I'm trying to think of what else there was yesterday. I told Kurtz and Jack every single one. But just literally the run of the game. Like it touched any question that you have, you can be somebody with a something. And so that's great to really explore. Sometimes like one time we just threw a big article or a blog that Jack wrote that had some big ideas. And we talked about that. For me, that's where so much of the conversation was important when I was a member. Because again, you can search these things, you can search how to run a waterfront, but can you really like brainstorm them and push yourself to think bigger? And the Summer Camp Society really pushed me to think bigger instead of thinking like, oh, we can't do that because this. It was like, what would it look like to do this? Or how might we do this? Okay, Jack has answered questions in the chat, which is awesome. We also have Slack. Slack is not required by any means, but it is just a great form of communication. It's pretty active. You get answers pretty quickly from a bigger group of people. You get discounts on our virtual programs. If you've ever seen the seminars that we offer, they're generally kind of weekly things, and there'll be anything from like seasonal leaders to gender inclusive housing. We have that one coming up soon. We're going to have 3 this fall, some on staff management, some on staff culture and recruiting, some on gender inclusive housing. All of the things that you've seen us offer before as like kind of paid things that happen online, members get a 50% discount to that. So in that way, it kind of saves your organization money. So that's one way to think about it. Members get extra time at the retreat. So the retreat is not required for members. It is not included in membership. If you want to come to the retreat as an extra thing, you can. And a member, you get an extra day. We can talk logistics on that if that's like a big point for you later. And that is pretty much it. Jack, do you have anything else that you want to mention about like a big benefit of membership?
No, I liked imagining you on as like the Sham Wow guy going, you're practically saving money. Sorry, I'm getting excited.
No, that's totally fine. I am an infomercial. Side note, I'm gonna get through this in almost a minute. I'll save my side note. Is there more? Well, not really, but there is help. I think a big barrier for people is the cost. It can be $50 monthly or $30 monthly, or you can pay that annually. It is manageable though. And we do work with you. Like the $30 a month is a scholarship rate. And if you need help drafting a letter to your supervisor, your board, your boss, we're there to help with you. With that, really it's proving the value of professional development. Like this isn't just, oh, I want a group of friends. Like this is going to improve your camp exponentially, which is going to increase your campers, which is going to increase your revenue. And we have some case studies of that. Like I know for sure that when I was an executive director, we got more campers because of things that I learned from Summer Camp Society and because of who it made me as a director. So that is it in a nutshell. Again, it is $30 a month is the scholarship rate, $50 a month for the full rate. We asked that if at all possible, you pay the full rate. If you need the scholarship rate, you can email me. If you have any other questions, this is the Q&A time. And if you had exactly 30 minutes for this, the 30 minutes is over and that is okay. And you can message me on Facebook, you can Instagram DM us, you can email me, whatever you need to. I'm going to put my email in the chat right now. And I think I emailed almost everyone right before this.
Look at you on perfect timing, Allison. That was incredible.
Thank you. Did anyone understand the last 2 minutes? Questionable, but we did get through. Does TSCS have any specific handouts regarding the benefits of joining that I could provide my supervisor? I can get you that by Friday.
I was going to say we will by the end of the week. Let's go.
And also, if you join by September 20th, we're doing a great thing right now, which is peer groups, which were Jack's ideas. So I'll let Jack talk about them.
And Allison, you'll answer Priscilla's question, which I can't remember the dates of, but it's like November 2nd and 4th or something like that. Yeah, so the idea of peer groups is kind of just like the Summer Camp Society is like a camp, then the peer groups are like your cabin group or your kind of like group, you're just like your group at day camp, right? Like the smaller breakdown. So you have something like 8 to 10 folks who you're going to meet with once a month. And then you'll just like know them a little bit better, right? Like I know Drew well enough at the moment to be more useful to Drew because I know him a little bit better. I know his camp story a little bit better. I know what he's good at. I know those kind of things. And so, but random faces in the crowd, like, I don't know. I might not be like, I don't know how to give much useful advice to Allison at the moment because I don't know her yet. Like, I don't know what her story is. I don't know what her camp's like. And so the peer groups are going a little bit deeper. And then the bigger group is just like a little bit more, right? So it's the same idea of the Summer Camp Society kind of large group, but broken down once a month, facilitated by somebody else. So you don't have to worry about it. You just show up and they will facilitate a conversation about stuff going on for you and your camp. And they'll kind of be like I'm using cheesy camp. Like they'll be like your counselor. They're not like going to be like your, I don't know. They're going to treat you like a grown up because that's what you are. Yeah, that's the peer groups.
Yeah. And I know we touched on this a little bit earlier when Emily brought up like the age thing, but seriously, we have members of all age ranges. We also have members of all different types of camps. So we have day camps, we have overnight camps, we have combo, we have trip camps, we have all over the place. Geographic location, we are all over the place. Age, like how long you've been doing this, we all over the place. Positions, all over the place. I mean, we have even people who are working seasonally in outdoor ed and camp in the summer to people who are just part-time in camp in the summer and doing whatever else during the year or doing whatever else. Like we have executive directors, program directors, camp, we have it all.
Allison, I'm realizing something that I should have said, which is if you're looking for like experts to have the answer, we're sorry. We have people that come in and are really smart and they're really awesome and stuff, but there's plenty of other places to spend a bunch of money to find specific people to answer specific expert calls. That's like really not what we are. What we are is hoping that you're going to come in and share your expertise, your thoughts, your awesomeness. And sure, like Allison is sort of an awesome marketer and knows a lot about waterfront, and Kurtz has a business degree. There's like people that know like a ton of really awesome stuff and are really good at stuff. But the point is not to come in and be like, this, I'm going to just like have experts at my disposal. Like it's not that sorry, that's not what we do. What we do, we're all happy to answer your questions, but what we want to do is hear from you. And so hear what you're able to contribute and kind of share with each other, because I know a lot less in this room. I know a lot less about what it's like to run a day camp that intersects with some forms of science and activities like Drew runs than Emily does. So my guess is that Drew and Emily can be more useful to each other around talking about running day camp in literally a very similar geographic area. Emily's down in Virginia and Maryland and DC. So like that. So like that's the point, right? Is to find those connections rather than to be like, well, Allison's just going to have all the answers.
Right. It is very much not consultant on demand, but it is like you have people with a lot of experience around you brainstorming these. Again, that was like the best part to me. And I could tell you, like, some of our members right now are just, they're geniuses in their area, just like you're geniuses in your area. And we just bring together the geniuses, which is awesome. We do have faculty who do participate in our members' meetings. And again, they're not consultants on demand, but they are other geniuses at things that will be there to brainstorm alongside you, which is great. And we do also have expert calls once a month. And so we will pay experts to come in. We've had ton of people. We have had Scott Arizala. We've had some people. I don't remember their names because it was during the transition time for me, but they spoke specifically about like growing grit in the outdoors. We've had a ton of different people be experts. And that is not exactly like consultant on demand, but it's, you get these like really personalized small group presentations and you can pick their brains in a Q&A after. So you get access to people that you wouldn't necessarily have access to before through those calls, but it's not like an on-demand service, like Jack said. Any other questions? You can put them in the chat. You can come off mute. Again, we're over time, so if you need to pop off, that is totally fine and understandable. All right. Jack, you have anything else?
Bye, Emily. It was great to see you.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited. I think that that the reason, like, camp's really hard. It's hard to run camp. It's hard to be the person that all these kids look up to. And it's like, to me, summer camp is the best tool in the world for giving kids a chance to like figure out who they want to be and then letting them go out and be it for a little bit of time and kind of try it on and then be able to be the person that they want to be when they kind of go back home. And so the kids probably won't thank you enough. We'll just keep thanking you. So thank you for doing the work that you're doing. Please join the Summer Camp Society or don't. Honestly, I love the Summer Camp Society and I hope you'll be there. And if not, like, I hope we're friends anyway and we'll bump into each other at some like weird conference or like just like rafting on a river. I have never been rafting. And I only sort of like the outdoors. Don't tell anyone, that's a secret. I'm only like sort of an outdoors person. I'm like, yeah, it's like nice. I don't know, trees and stuff. But yeah, I hope that we can all kind of be friends and that kind of thing. And I hope you join the Summer Camp Society because that means I'll get to see you more. But if not, like, please keep reaching out to us. We care about you. We want you to do awesome stuff. That's what the Summer Camp Society is about.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Jack said, please don't be like, I know sometimes when like people talk to you about things and then you don't join, like it can feel awkward. Like, don't feel awkward. Everybody has to do what they have to do. We totally get it. We hope you still like us. We want you to DM us on Instagram and please like our stuff. Like, please like our stuff, but don't feel awkward about anything. I will send out an email after this that will recap, and then I will get that handout with the benefits of joining later this week. And I'll also email that out, and the email will have the next steps and it'll just outline some information so you can read it. And I will stay on for a minute or two if you like have a private question, but other than that, thank you all for coming and we will see you soon.
This meeting is over.